This is Mark here on the first episode of Gut Reaction, where I do my own segment and I talk about what has happened in the sports world and I'm going to be discussing just my opinions and how I feel about everything that's happened in the playoff games in football, and we're just going to dive into it. I'm going to be going specifically over the Cowboys versus the Rams and how I felt. To start off, I was very disappointed about how Dallas played. Dallas did not look the same in that game. The Rams outplayed Dallas. They really did. They ran. T.J. Anderson and Todd Gurley both ran for 100 yards, and they combined for over 272 rushing yards by the Rams. Dallas, on the other hand, only had 50 rushing yards the whole game. And to me, that was the difference between winning and losing. Who could run the ball better? And the Rams just straight up outplayed Dallas. They straight up did. I mean, that for the first half of the game, the Dallas offense was non-existent. I think the Cowboys only had like 3 drives only in the first half. They only had the ball 3 times, and the Rams, on every single drive during the first half, had either scored a field goal or a touchdown. And Dallas didn't start turning it up offensively until the second half. Now, granted, there was really bad play calling during that game. I really did not like what I saw out of the refereeing in that game. I believe it was like before the half ended, Zach was scrambling around, and he was about to get sacked, and then they just killed the play and said that he got sacked because his offensive lineman held him up, and they said it was in the grass. Now that to me is some BS, because how can you call? I mean, if you can see the play for yourself on the highlights or whatever, but you can see that nobody was even touching him, and they said he was sacked. And then another play that bothered me, it was like a 3rd and 14, and there was an incomplete pass by Jared Goff, but they called hands to the face, and there was no hands to the face. Those 2 calls right there practically ruined the game and their chances of winning. That could be the difference between winning and losing. So those just upset me. To me, that is stupid. That is stupid. How could you allow that to happen? NFL has probably the worst refereeing I've ever seen. Worse than basketball. Put that in perspective. Because in the finals, you have it where the ref, you can't even touch LeBron James. You can't even touch James Harden without being called for a foul. And in the NFL, you get these random calls like in the grass, and that's a sack and the play's dead, and that's a penalty. I don't understand. But anyways, part of while I was watching that game, I found that the Rams their offensive line is good. And they're going to be really good heading into the next round against the Saints. I like what I see with New Orleans. New Orleans is a really good team. But the Rams also got a great offensive line. I did not like Marcus Peters and Aqib Talib on the defensive side of the ball. Gallup and Cooper each had 100 yards receiving, combined for like 250 receiving yards, which is insane. But, I mean, who do I feel going in the next round is going to win, the Saints or the Rams? I'll take the Saints. I like Drew Brees, undefeated at home. I don't like the Rams' defense. I thought the Rams only won because, quite frankly, Dallas' play calling was terrible. Jason Garrett needs to be fired, and Scott Linehan, the offensive coordinator, is terrible. As I'm recording this, I just found out news that Jason Garrett wants to keep Scott Linehan, but we'll see. I think part of why Dallas lost is because their play calling was bad. I think Dak is a great quarterback. I don't think Dak is as good as Aaron Rodgers or as good as Tom Brady, but I think he is a top 15 quarterback, and he can get a team to a Super Bowl and give them a shot to win, especially with that defense. So, Dallas just before I turn this off, Dallas is a very structured team. And they're going to be good for a long time. A long time. And I really do think that they have a shot at going to a Super Bowl within the next 5 years. Their defense is loaded with Van Der Esch, with Jalen Smith, with Sean Lee, DeMarcus Lawrence, Byron Smith. It goes on and on. My concern is that Jerry Jones is going to screw it up. Jerry Jones wants to keep Jason Garrett. He wants to keep Scott Linehan because he wants to have control. And that's where I feel Dallas is going to have their downfall. And that's where this team could have its unlocked potential if Jason Garrett's gone. Jason Garrett, as a head coach since 2010, fun fact, has only won 2 playoff games in the wild card round. And he's taken as far as the divisional round, where they've lost to the Packers twice. One of them was a bogus call with Des Bryant, but I don't want to get into that. That's a discussion for another day. And then this game, terrible play calling lost in this game. Sean McVay's a better coach than Jason Garrett. And if you don't think so, just look at the game yourself. I don't care about those 4th and 1s. I don't care about going for it. Terrible play calling. Didn't run the ball enough with Zeke. Didn't really do anything in the first half. They just sucked. You can't do that against the Rams. And that, to me, that was the difference between winning and losing. And they should have won this game. I don't think the Rams defense is that good. I don't think Marcus Peters or Keith Lee are that good. And people are going to say, well, they ran the ball good and Dallas defense. No. The Rams offensive line is good. And I underestimated them. I thought Dallas was going to win. But the reason why Dallas lost is because of the bad play call. And if they don't fire Jason Garrett Scotland, they won't win the Super Bowl. That's just hard reality for Cowboys fans, but it's true. So, that's my reaction, my thoughts to the game. More coverage about the other divisional rounds and the AFC and NFC championships we'll discuss with the group and on the table, the round table, what we think. But as for now, just subscribe to the channel. Link will be below for our Instagram page to get notifications and updates for all the videos we post. I'm disappointed in how Dallas played. I really thought they were going to go at least to the NFC Championship game. They certainly have the talent to warrant them at least going that far, but what are you going to do? The coaching's terrible, and they got beat by a no-name by C.J. Anderson. Sorry, Cowboy fans. See you next week.